Lévis is a city in eastern Quebec, Canada. It is located on the south shore of the St. Lawrence River, opposite Quebec City. A ferry links Old Quebec with Old Lévis, and two bridges, the Quebec Bridge and the Pierre-Laporte Bridge, connect western Lévis with Quebec City. The Société de Transport de Lévis is responsible for public transportation by bus. The population in 2011 was 138,769. Its current incarnation was founded on January 1, 2002, as the result of a merger among 10 cities, including the older city of Lévis, founded in 1861. Lévis is also the name of a territory equivalent to a regional county municipality and census division of Quebec, coextensive with the city of Lévis. Its geographical code is 25 as a census division, and 251 as an RCM equivalent territory. History. First Nations people are said to have favored the Point Lévis area long before French settlement due to its ideal location, at the junction of the St. Lawrence and the Chaudière rivers. Many archaeological sites reveal evidence of human occupation for about 10,000 years. Some historians theorize that Point Lévis could have been one of the main centers of Native American population development in the Quebec province. In 1636, approximately 28 years after the foundation of Quebec City, the Seigneury of Lauson was founded on the eastern part of the actual territory. In the following years, other seigneuries were founded near the St. Lawrence River. Point Lévis was mainly an agricultural domain in which several lords controlled their part of land in a medieval feudal way. The land of the Lauson seigneury remained unoccupied until 1647, when Guillaume Couture became the first European settler installed in front of Quebec City. Couture was at the time first administrator, chief magistrate, captain of the militia, member of the Sovereign Council, and was widely considered a hero in New France. Couture was however not the first seigneur of the Lauson seigneury, as the land was owned by Jean de Lauson. During the 7 Years' War in the summer of 1759, General James Wolfe established a camp in the territory of Point Lévis and laid siege to Quebec City. The siege succeeded, and after firing cannons from the hills of Point Lévis for 3 months and the battle on the plains in front of the walls, Quebec fell to the British. During this time, Point Lévis served as the main camp to sustain the British Army in the Quebec area. The constant cannon firing between Quebec City and Point Lévis also served as a way to stop the French and British ships from going farther on the St. Lawrence River, thus preventing reinforcement to other major cities like Montreal. In 1763, Marie-Joseph de Corriveau was hanged in Quebec City for killing her husband, and, in accordance with English practice, her body was displayed in a cage for several weeks in Saint Joseph de la Pointe Lévis. This was an unusual punishment used for the first time by the British government in North America and reserved for persons found guilty of particularly heinous crimes. This punishment was practiced in England since the Middle Ages. From 1854, the railroad appeared in Point Lévis, making the city a major transportation center for commerce and immigration. Being on the south shore of the St. Lawrence River, Point Lévis could be connected through rail to Ontario, Maine and the Maritime provinces. Many years later, between 1865 and 1872, while the city was still under control of Britain, a series of 3 forts were built to protect Quebec and the surroundings from the threat of American invasion. The forts were never really used for their intended purpose. One of these forts still remains today and can be visited. The city of Lévis, named after the successor to Montcalm, the Chevalier de Lévis, was erected in 1861. The founder of this new city was Mgr. Joseph David Daziel. Many municipalities in the territory of present-day Lévis were merged between 1861 and 2002. Many towns were created and the village of Point Lévis became the village of Lausanne in 1867 and then the city of Lausanne in 1910. In the late 19th and beginning of the 20th century, Alphonse Desjardins pioneered the foundation of the credit union movement and founded the first Caisse Populaire in Lévis. He also began a long process to create what later became the Desjardins Group by traveling everywhere in Quebec helping people in other cities to start their own credit union. Legacy. On 28 June 1985, Canada Post issued Fort No. 1, Point Lévis, K, one of the 20 stamps in their Forts Across Canada series. The stamps are perforated 12A1/2x13 and were printed by Ashton Potter Limited based on the designs by Rolf P. Harder. Geography. Lévis covers an area of 444 square kilometers. 10% urban, 48% farmlands, 36% forest and 6% wetlands. In addition to the St. Lawrence River, the Etchemin and Chaudière rivers also run through the city before ending their journey in the St. Lawrence. The Chaudière River also boasts a fall with a suspended bridge which can be accessed from Autoroute 73. Lévis County existed until the 1980s when it was divided into Desjardins Regional County Municipality and Les Chutes de la Chaudière Regional County Municipality. On January 1, 2002, 10 cities were merged by the Quebec provincial government to form the new city of Lévis. Previously, the former cities of Lausanne and Saint-David-de-la-Aubervilliers had been merged to Lévis in 1989. The regional county municipalities which these cities were a part of ceased to exist. The new city, however, was divided into 3 boroughs: Desjardins, Les Chutes de la Chaudière West and Les Chutes de la Chaudière Est, which correspond to most of the territory of the former RCMs. The 10 former municipalities are today districts within the city. Each of the 3 boroughs is composed of either 3 or 4 districts. Former municipalities: Lévis, Charny, Pintendre, Sainte-Hélène-de-Bréqueville, Saint-Étienne-de-Lausanne, Saint-Jean-Chrysostome, Saint-Joseph-de-la-Pointe de Lévis, Saint-Nicolas, Saint-Romuald, Saint-Redempteur. The pre-2002 Lévis had already merged with Lausanne and Saint-David-de-la-Aubervilliers in 1989. Demographics. Population. The city of Lévis population grew by an estimated 1.3% in 5 years. Lévis is an old community in terms of population as the proportion of youths is lower than the national average and the proportion of those over 65 years of age is higher than the national average. Some 14.5% is under 14 years of age, while those over 65 number 15.7%. The city is one of the most homogeneous in Canada. Around 99% of the population are of European ancestry, while over 97% of residents speak French as their mother tongue. Economy. Although a relatively small city, Lévis is not a typical suburb. The presence of several large employers has allowed many citizens to both live and work in Lévis. It is home to the Ultramar refinery, one of the largest in eastern Canada. Frito-Lay and Davy Shipbuilding are located in Lausanne area. The Desjardins Group and its subsidiary Desjardins Financial Security are headquartered in the city. The founder of the latter, Alphonse Desjardins, lived in Lévis and ran with his wife, Dory Meneroy Desjardins, the first Caisse Populaire from their home. The city is also a major agricultural business research and development center. More and more high-technology companies, such as Creform, are established in Lévis. Lévis is home to the enclosed regional shopping mall, Les Galeries Chagnon, which has 106 stores. A lot of small business and entertainment developed in the city during the last decade and finalized the transformation from a Quebec City suburb into a small city. Education. Commission Scolaire des Navigateurs operates francophone public schools. There are many schools of different levels, including the CE-Acute GEP Acute VIs Lausanne and a UQAR campus. Notable people: Alphonse Desjardins, co-operator, founder of the Desjardins Group; Jean Carignan, fiddler; Céline Bonnier, actress; Ariane Moffat, singer; Pierre-Luc Letourneau Leblond, hockey player for the Calgary Flames; Kalina Roberge, speed skater; Charles Hamlin, short track speed skater.